This is the pre-lab for Lab 5, which is the Bootstrap Intervals lab, and this is the tidy version. I sent out an R Markdown document via Canvas, like usual, and you'll need to download that onto your computer and upload it to RStudio Cloud, and then you should have a file that you can click on and get it to open up, and it should look like this. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to load the packages that we use in the course, so the tidyverse and infer packages. So I'm going to library tidyverse and library infer. And I would encourage you to follow along in your pre-lab with me as I'm working. So once we've got those entered in, we can click the green play button to run the chunk. And now we have access to everything that's in those packages. Then the next thing is we need some example data. I'm going to use the same data set that I've been using, GSS clean, and if it's in the data folder, then you should just be able to run this code chunk. If your data is somewhere else, you might need to remove the name of the data set and then hit tab and use the tab to help you move around and find where your data is located. So I got some red stuff that printed out, but that's just how it's getting parsed. And now I have this data set in my environment, which I can click on and look at. It's just the same data that we've been using before. And then just to make our lives easier, let's drop the NA values for this variable that we're going to talk about today, the highest year of school completed. So I'm going to take GSS, then, and that's how we pronounce the pipe, the percent greater than percent, GSS, then drop NA of highest year of school completed. And I'm going to assign that with the assignment operator, that's the less than sign and the dash. I'm going to assign that to the name GSS. So it's just going to overwrite my original version of GSS. Right now I have 2,348 observations, and then I'm going to run this by doing the Control Enter. And now I have 2345. So I just lost a couple observations in that process. So the first thing that we should do is remember how to do visualization and summary statistics for one quantitative variable. And I'd like you to see if you can create a histogram of the highest year of school completed variable. So I've got some hints in the document, and then there's an empty code chunk for you to write your code in. And I'd encourage you to stop the video here and try it out yourself before you continue. Okay, now I'm going to do it. So I'm going to do a ggplot of GSS, then outside those parentheses a plus, and a geom histogram, parentheses, and then it's going to be an AES in there, short for aesthetic, and I'm going to say x is equal to highest underscore year underscore of underscore school underscore completed, and I can Control Enter on that. Completed. Control Enter. And now it makes me my histogram. It's complaining about bin width, so I could set my bin width to be 2, and then rerun this. That looks a little bit better. So it looks to me like this distribution is centered around 12, maybe a little bit more than 12 years. That kind of makes sense to me. But let's try and find the mean of that same variable. So again, I've got some hints here, and I would encourage you to pause the video and try it out yourself before you go on. And now I'm going to do it. So we're going to take the GSS dataset, then the pipe, percent greater than percent. Then we usually hit Enter, and then I'm going to put a summarize command on the next line. And what I'm going to summarize is mean equal to the mean of highest year of school completed, all with the underscores, and then Control Enter on that. So it tells me that the mean is 13.7. And so it's a little bit more than 12 years of school. And if someone said, can you give me your best guess for how many years of school on average people in the US have completed, I would say 13.7, because I just have this one sample from the general social survey. But we might rather give an interval estimate rather than just a point estimate. And in order to do that, we would either need many samples from the population, which we can't get, or we need some other method. And we're going to use the Bootstrap as our other method.